What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Carolina Panthers franchise. This week we're taking on the New Orleans Saints, who are 5-5, and we had an ugly loss last week against the Atlanta Falcons. As you can see, Keanu Neal, it was the defensive player in that conference of the week. I said that weird, but DJ Moore, the bright side, he had over 200 receiving yards on 7 catches and a couple tutties. So that's pretty good. And then we're going to, of course, commit to neutralizing Cameron Jordan. I'm not much about this thing anymore. That it's just same conversations every time. What am I gonna do? Tell him don't worry about him. Of course you're gonna try to neutralize him. That's a dumb question. But anyway, scenario engine. But yeah, I'm gonna start showing defensive snaps from now on. Not just defensive snaps. I'm talking about the whole game, offense and defense and special teams if something good happens. So I feel like it's more entertaining for you guys. It's a lot more editing on my part, but I feel like it pays off because it's more entertaining. As you can see, we're a 900 team. We are 9-1. We have a pretty big lead on the NFC. So especially in the NFC South. So the next best team is the Eagles, Bears, and Seahawks. So, and we have to play the Seahawks down the line. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but we got to play them down the line. So, luckily we'll be getting them in Charlotte. So yeah. Going over the stats, we're second in passing yards, fourth in passing touchdowns, and fourth in passer rating. And McCaffrey almost has 1,000 rushing yards, and he has 9 rushing touchdowns. As Curtis Samuel is still our leading receiver. So I'm trying to get DJ up there. I want to get Curtis and DJ to be over 1,000 yards so that they can get some abilities for next season. But I don't know if I'll continue this after this season's over. I mean, obviously we're gonna try to make it to the Super Bowl in this season. So I enjoy Madden Ultimate Team more than I do this right here. If I was in a franchise league where I was in an online league where everybody had a team, and I would be playing an online person, an actual real person online every week. That would be dope. But unfortunately, I'm not involved in any of that kind of stuff. It'd be great if I was, but most teams, the Panthers, usually taken because of Cam Newton getting escape artist. So, I mean, is what it is. Last year, I was in a franchise online league, and I had to use the Falcons. I went 15-1, and then they had 2 commissioners, which is stupid. So they ended up messing up the playoffs because someone simmed the week twice and skipped the championship game. So I was like, you know what? After all that work I put in, I'm done. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the game. Alright, so talking about the game, I figured we would, after falling behind 14-0 early, I figured we would fold Maybe not completely, but it would be the usual in New Orleans, where they get a big lead and then the crowd gets into it, and then it's hard for the offense to score because they can't get back into the game. That's usually how it goes in that Superdome. But yeah, you can see Cam Newton 3,000 yards on the season, really good completion percentage, only 9 interceptions. We're trying to keep it under 10 or under this season, because I feel like if you throw more than 10 interceptions, you're like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? So, added some new plays to the custom playbook to kind of spice things up. I added a RPO peak zone bubble, which I ran on that first play, and I just decided to take off the Cam Newton because I would have been late to the read. You know what I'm saying? So, screen to Christian McCaffrey. We don't have any enforcers out there this time, so we ain't gonna be getting cracked. You know what I mean? So ain't got no Keanu Neals on the team. So hopefully that same thing doesn't happen whenever we play the Falcons again in a couple weeks, because that was rough, man. I'm telling you. So Christian McCaffrey with his 10th rushing touchdown of the season, big milestone for him. And yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying the defensive snaps, because I kind of enjoyed going and playing this game, actually, just to see the defense and how they work, how they eat. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Burns with the sack on 3rd down, stopped Drew Brees on 2 straight drives, which is huge, very huge. And I thought that honestly, I thought Kyle Allen played well. He didn't throw an interception. Hey, he didn't throw an interception. That's a one thing to be proud of. But I think it's a team game. I mean, football is the ultimate team game, and you can't just put the whole team on one person and how they perform. But I mean, I am looking forward to Cam coming back next year. And look closely at this touchdown. I showed the instant replay on this, because they finally put Greg Olsen's face scan in the game. It actually looks like Greg Olsen now, and I'm so happy. Like in the last update, they added his face scan. They actually scanned his face like months ago, but I guess it takes forever for them to actually get it in the game. It looks really good, I gotta say. They did a really good job on that. So he throws to Kamara in the flats. Luke Kuechly is our enforcer. So you'll be seeing Luke Kuechly laying a lot of hit sticks. He's throwing it up to Michael Thomas right before half. Doesn't really work out for him. And on 4th and inches, Will Lutz misses the field goal. Just absolutely shanks it. I guess Luke Kuechly spooked him a little bit. He was he creeping across that line. But checking it down to Curtis Samuel underneath to get ourselves in field goal range so that we can take a 17-0 lead at halftime. See, this is what I was worried about. Like, y'all want defensive snaps and offensive snaps. Well, this is what happens. Like, end up showing out on defense, and every game's a blowout, which I don't want that to be the case. But I mean, if that's what y'all want, that's what y'all want. So Christian McCaffrey with a big run, coming out in a little split close, being patient in the pocket and finding Jarius Wright. But yeah, I feel like the Panthers, the clock's ticking. Like, I've read some posts recently from like fan pages. I mean, obviously you can't trust fan pages, but like, they're saying what it's sounding like now is that Ron Rivera and that coaching staff is on the hot seat, and not Cam, which I would be all for, because I mean, I actually like our coaching staff. I just wish we could get it all in sync and get back to consistently winning games, because we have, in my opinion, we have the right coaches. Like our head coach is a defensive-minded head coach who, he's a defensive-minded head coach, and you have a really good offensive coordinator. So it's a really big plus for Ron Rivera to not have to worry about offense and defense at the same time. other than like deciding whether to go for it on 4th down or not, obviously. But you see Bruce Irvin with a pick 6. Like, I did not expect him to jump up and get that. But that's the play of the game. Pass rush and linebacker getting a pick 6. That's what I'm talking about. But going back to what I was saying, you have Norv Turner, who coached the '95 Cowboys back with Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and playmaker Michael Irvin and them boys. He coached them boys to the Super Bowl, and so he's a household name. He's a really good offensive coordinator. I feel like he just needs to step his game up a little bit. If Cam was his quarterback, he would be looking a lot better, because he could do different things and be more dynamic, and he wouldn't have to be so traditional. So, I mean, you see Luke Kuechly laying the wood right here on Alvin Kamara, and Bruce Irvin recovers the fumble. But like, obviously we win this game in a blowout. But yeah, like I was saying, especially since Cam, if Cam knows that he's not gonna be a Panther next season, he wouldn't have done his Thanksgiving Cam jam like he does every year. You know, he wouldn't have taken the time to do something like that. I feel like, because if he knew he was going, that tells me right there that David Tepper wants to sign him and keep him. But you also have to think about Christian McCaffrey. He's probably going to sign some like 5-year long extension. I think they said it was like 5 years, $85 million is probably what he would get at the end of this year, because he would be, after this year, he's entering his final year on his rookie deal. And most big-time athletes like that, they want a new deal a year prior, and they just want that sense of security. So I don't know how they're going to pay Christian and Cam, but they need to figure it out, because they need to keep them two together. But anyways, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next franchise. Peace.